Well, the time has finally come. A brand new set has been announced for Pokemon TCG Pocket, and it looks pretty crazy. Hey, this is GatorX, and a different setup. This is my setup left over from my Twitch streams that I'm gonna try and get started up. TCG Tuesday, Gator EXP on Twitch.tv. Anyway, let's go and chat about. Let's go ahead and chat about this. So we're here actually on the Pokemon Press website. We'll look at this trailer in a bit. But this is obviously, where you can go to get images whenever there's any kind of big Pokemon announcement. Obviously, we got a trailer on YouTube, but here are some of the card images. The new set is going to be called Mythical Island, and it looks pretty cool. I love the look of it. But let's go and take a look at some of those cards. So just the easy ones that are here on the page right away. We got Blue, a brand new supporter. During your opponent's next turn, all of your Pokemon take 10 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Interesting card, kind of the opposite of Giovanni, which is really interesting, especially, in lore, because Blue would eventually take over the gym from Giovanni, or at least, well, not directly from him. After Giovanni left, Blue would take over that gym. So it's kind of neat. It's sort of the inverse of that. Interesting. I guess it's going to be good for defensive type decks, or, decks that definitely really want healing. Maybe... I don't know necessarily Venusaur, because I think they'd really prefer to have Erica there, but if there's some other defensive strategies, I know there's like Cloyster, right, that also takes reduced damage, I believe Mr. Mime as well, so it could be interesting to see that used, but I don't know necessarily. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything that would be super cool or super interesting with that. I also got a Dedenne here. This one's obviously the nice illustration rare. It is, let's see, for 1 Lightning Energy Thundershock, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. That's an interesting one, though, especially considering that Dedenne does not evolve. That's kind of going to be the best that you're going to get out of this. So, it seems fine, but it seems pretty basic for a Lightning Pokemon, for a Stage 1 Lightning Pokemon. The art looks really nice, though. I love the art there. It's a little mouse sneaking in, getting some food. We got some Ratatouille going on here. But, it's a cute card, at least for collectible. Mew EX, this is the big thing, probably, or one of the big things, is a basic Psychic EX with a 130 HP, 1 Psychic Energy Side Shot, 20 damage, and then for 3 Colorless Energy Genome Hacking. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. Now, to note, for things like Charizard, right, if you want to copy Charizard, you still have to discard those Fire Energy. For Mewtwo, you still have to discard those Psychic Energy. But otherwise, the thing is that this kind of just comes in as, you can just play this in Mewtwo as well. So it counters Mewtwo because it can copy its big attack, needing only 3 energy. You still have to discard the 2, but you can immediately power it up, say the next turn with your Gardevoir. Hypothetically, you can play this in, in any other deck, because the big attack does require colorless energy. But the thing is, I just see this as like more Mewtwo fuel, so I don't know how to feel about that. That's definitely something. Having only 130 HP is nice though, because then you can knock it out a little easier. It has more HP than Pikachu, so I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like maybe it should have had less HP than Pikachu. We got Moralo here. For 1 Grass Energy, Ram does 20 damage. Interesting. I think what's really important is to see what Shiinotic looks like in the set when we eventually get that. Snivy, Grass Energy and a colorless. Vine Whip for 40. That's also nice, but again, the big question is going to be what does Serperior look like? Otherwise, having 70 HP is pretty nice for Snivy. Got Vaporeon here, and this one is the nice big illustration rare for it. Wash Out, well, obviously, 120 HP, Water type. Wash out as often as you like during your turn. You may move a Water Energy from one of your bench Pokemon, Water Pokemon, to one of your active Water Pokemon. So that's an interesting one to move them around, especially with Misty, because Misty can really stack up a bunch of energies. So let's say, so if anything, this kind of makes Misty a little crazier, right? Because let's say you do get, I don't know, like 6 or plus heads on Misty, then you're going to stack a bunch of Water Energy on a single Pokemon, and normally it doesn't need all that energy because things like, Lapras are going to cap out at a certain amount. So then if it's on your bench, it would have to be on your bench. Then Vaporeon gives you a way to move some of that energy, so that's interesting. And it's also kind of neat that it is as often as you like. The thing is also, though, you do have to evolve it to get this Vaporeon, but that is an interesting ability because it lets you switch things out, especially say like Articuno if you want to get a buddy for Articuno, or hey, Lapras if you want to really make Lapras EX work, which, I believe in Lapras EX. Then you could do that. Say if you have one that gets, a lot of HP taken away, you can swap it for a different one on the bench, or you can get them both on the bench, swap them, or no, get the active to the bench, get the new one with fresh, and then move all the energy up there. So that seems like a good utility. Again, don't know how often used it might be because it needs to evolve, but I think just the trade-off, because I think it would make a pretty good buddy for Articuno, because again, you're playing Misty, and because you're gonna have your 2 Articuno, and you have something at least to move your energy along, say especially if you end up getting Tails on a Misty. So don't know how to feel about that. That's it for the little press images here. There's more in the trailer. We got a little look at some of the, some of the solo events, or some of the solo battles that we're going to have here, obviously starring those Pokemon. Some of the nice binder art, that's nice. Looking at the Superior, yeah, there we go, and then we can kind of zoom in here. So this is one of the binder images. I love the look of this whole set. Again, with the trailer, how it looks is, it's all super mythical. It's this island, got Mew here, Stonejourner, Behem, so those are probably going to be some Pokemon we'll see there. Superior, again, we saw the Snivy, so that hints toward that, and these are some of the other guys that we already saw in the press images, so that's kind of neat there. Otherwise, got a little look at the packs. Look at the Snivy with some of the display board there. Again, yeah, look at the pack. The pack looks nice. And the image, again, I love this here. From what we see here, looks like we got a Mankey, so we might be getting even more Mankey. Volcarona here, the Aerodactyl, Gyarados, so probably a new Gyarados. That'd be kind of neat. But the trailer kind of has some more interesting things. So let's go and take a look at that trailer then. And this, again, all right, so look what we got here. No recommended. So we got Exeggutor here. Got a Liepard here, and Gyarados there, Rapidash, Magikarp, interesting. So again, interesting really if we're going to be seeing like different variants of Pokemon, especially for Rapidash. Dude, I love the Rapidash, Ninetales deck. So if we see more, like a different Rapidash with a different attack, that would be pretty cool. Salandit here, love Salazzle, big fan of Salazzle. That's the image that we saw before. I'm just like not gonna play the trailer, even though it is a really nice trailer. I probably did play it in like part of the video here, but I think what we really want to get to are the cards that are shown off later on in the trailer. Get a nice look at the Mewtwo EX, which we already talked about that. But the other big EX that is in the trailer, though didn't get a press image of it, is this Aerodactyl EX. And what have we got here? Primeval Claw is the ability. Your opponent can't play any Pokemon from their hand to evolve their active Pokemon. That's pretty crazy, especially considering that it evolves from Old Amber. Now, the thing about the fossil cards is that they're cool in that they're items. However, you're not guaranteed to start with them in your hand because they technically are not basic Pokemon. So, an Aerodactyl deck has that to deal with, in that, like, you can't just play only Aerodactyl EX and the Old Amber. You need an actual Pokemon to start the game off with. And then you need a means to get to Old Amber, but otherwise I like that. And then a Fighting Energy and a Colorless Energy, Land Crush for 80, that sounds pretty nice and fair, 140 HP on a fighting Pokemon, and only a stage 2, of course, because it is a fossil. I really like this. It's gonna be crazy. Again, if you can get this set up on your turn 2, it's gonna be really important, obviously. If you get your Old Amber turn 1, slap it on the bench, then turn 2, draw into your Aerodactyl, play it onto or evolve it, and then you shut off your opponent from evolution. So it would be really crazy if you get that. Say, especially if you're going first, your opponent second, third, and then on turn 3 you get Aerodactyl. You can really lock your opponent out of basically everything, unless they're playing Mewtwo. But then again, this 2-shots Mewtwo, and it slows down the Gardevoir, so that's pretty nice. What else? What else plays basic? Lapras. We talk about Lapras. There's still that. Pikachu. Again, Pikachu's a basic, and it is a lightning, so it hits you for weakness. So you gotta look out for that. But the thing is, you're a fighting, so you're gonna hit Pikachu back for weakness. So that's pretty nice there. It's gonna be interesting. I really do want to try out Aerodactyl EX. Get a little look at some of the other cards here. We get a better look at throughout them. So we got an Execute here, growth support, take 2 grass energy from your energy zone, attach it to this Pokemon. That's pretty nice, though the Venusaur EX does only need 1 energy to attack, so there's probably going to be a different Venusaur. I think we get a better look at some of these other cards. There's a Marshadow, there's a Tauros, there's a Dedenne, we saw Mew. We get to see Leaf here, who says during this turn, the retreat cost of your active Pokemon is 2 less. That's very nice, because it allows your bigger guys to retreat a little easier, though it does take up your supporter slot. But I think if you're in a situation where you have a big guy up front that was stalling while you're building something up on the bench, then I think it makes sense to use your supporter to switch them out. Again, you know, having Sabrina that lets you switch your opponent's Pokemon, Leaf is kind of going to be the card that lets you switch your own Pokemon how you want, you know, without needing to use the X speed, or without, or you know, on a bigger guy that X speed doesn't do a whole lot of, so you don't have to burn a lot of energy. Speaking of burn, we got Magmar here, 2 fire energy, 80 damage. Discard 2 fire energy from this Pokemon. Interesting. I guess with Blaine that hits for 110, but again, you need to discard 2, so it is a basic, so you have that. But I think, you know, in that sense, I still would kind of prefer Ninetales because I just really like Ninetales. And then Tauros, we'll get a better look at Tauros near the end of this trailer here. Marshadow. Can we look at Marshadow? Can you let me see the effect? So Marshadow is a basic fighting with 80 HP for 1 fighting in a colorless, 40 plus, and if any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage when attacked during your opponent's last turn, this attack does 60 more damage. So it hits for 100 with a revenge hit for 2 energy. That seems pretty fine, but again, you know, you do need to take a hit. I could see it in maybe if we build up like a big basic fighting Pokemon deck. If you're playing like only Marshadow, I guess that it really needs some. Okay, it can be like a really good hit for a whole 100 damage, especially if you're hitting for weakness. That's great. However, I think that is the thing, is that it requires you to have had a Pokemon knock out, and in this game, when you only need 3 points to win, it's interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But otherwise, we get to the end of the trailer, and then they're going to do the spread out of a lot of those cards, and we can get a good look at them. I think really all we need to see is that Tauros here, that is basic colors for 110 HP, and for 3 colorless energy, fighting tackle 40 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, this attack does 40 more damage. So that one is pretty nice. That's at least, that's knocking out Pikachu, that's for sure, but on a 3 energy, but 3 of any energy, that's kind of neat. Having 100 HP on that body is kind of nice, and now, you know, even with the 2 retreat, we can retreat it with Leaf, so that's cool. Larvesta, we get a little peek at Larvesta. Just 80 HP fire for a fire and a colorless. Combustion does 30. That's, you know, something to build up to Volcarona. It'd be interesting if Volcarona is an EX. And, you know, on one hand, just throwing it out there, might as well. It's cool that we're seeing a lot of other cool Pokemon. I think that's what we really need. We need another EX Pokemon that is not only Gen 1. So that'd be, that's my hope. I would hope Larvesta, or I hope Volcarona is Volcarona EX. Otherwise, so, you know, get some good Gen 5 Pokemon and a Gen 7 here. And another Gen 7, that's right, Delmise, which has Energy Whip. My microphone arm is a little in the way. Flip a, let's see. No, it says if this Pokemon has 3 extra grass energy attached, this attack does 70 more damage. Okay, so 3 extra grass energy, so that's 4. So it needs 4 grass energy to do 90. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that, but I do like Delmise, and that's some cool art, obviously, from the main game. But for the most part, that is just about every card that's been revealed so far for Mythical Island. That comes out Tuesday, December 17th. I'm excited. That's gonna be, it's gonna be fun. And again, I just love the look of it. You know, I like the look of Pokemon TCG Pocket so far, you know, all the white and the purple, but I think it's gotten a little boring. Give us some of that, you know, Mythical Island, some green, some purples in there, and, you know, even more backdrops and playmats. So let me know what you think in the comments below if you enjoyed this video and what you're looking forward to playing in Mythical Island based on what we've seen so far. We're getting it really quick, though, really soon, actually, you know, what, next week, right? So we'll get to have the whole set, and we'll see what's everything in there. So it's really nice to be able to go into some uncharted territory here, actually, with some brand new cards. Like I said, personally, I really love the look of Aerodactyl. We'll see if we can cook with Aerodactyl, but otherwise, leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. If you like the setup, let me know as well. You can see it more on twitch.tv/GatorEXP, where hopefully I'll be streaming some more. Not TCG Pocket, more so TCG Live. But anyway, this is GatorX. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all later.